50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 614. Today is Sunday, January 11th, 2026. Super Wildcard Weekend was amazing, kid. How you doing?
Yeah, honestly, though, these games, 1 o'clock, early window today, two bangers yesterday. I was surprised how good the Rams and Panthers game was. And then absolute banger last night with the Packers in Chicago. Let's get into it, though.
Yeah, we had a great Saturday. Sunday was really good as well. And then we'll have picks and props for Monday night with the Steelers and the Texans. I do have some. We'll recap Indiana, Oregon as well. But yeah, kid, let's get to it. Like you said, Rams 34, Panthers 31, and for the they left too much time for Matthew Stafford on the clock, but it was a duel, man. Bryce Young, I thought he played pretty well outside of the one pick. He only got sacked twice, and Jalen Coker, what a come-out game for him. 9 catches, 134 yards. He got the touchdown. We get over with Terrion McMillan as well. I think his line was at 55 that I cashed. That was a no-brainer. Puka went for over 100, and the MVP of the league goes down and wins the game. Matthew Stafford, 34-31. We cashed the 10.5. Game goes way over the total. Were you surprised Panthers always play this team well?
Yeah, I think they just match up well against them. I don't know what it is. I also think it has to do with, a West Coast team traveling all the way to the East Coast, playing on that time frame. Always got to take that into consideration. But this is who the Panthers were all year at home. They were a pesky team home. Let's not forget. They started, I think, the year 3-4-0 at home. We saw them beat the Rams straight up when they were a 9.5-point dog. Just week 13, week 14 in Carolina. So not surprised by this. We both agreed when the start of the playoffs, 10.5 points was just too much. Don't get me wrong. The Rams, if it's anybody deserves to be 10.5-point favorites on the road, might be the Los Angeles Rams. But something about Bryce Young and this Panthers team, just especially offensively, find success against this good Rams defense. Give credit. I think I understand, Bryce Young might not be, everybody's cup of tea, but I think he at least proved something on Saturday that he is the quarterback of the Carolina future. I think he proved that to me. He played much better than I thought. Don't get me wrong. Could have made some better throws? Could have made some better decisions? Absolutely. But for a guy making his NFL playoff debut, I think he played pretty damn good, if you ask me. Let's not forget, though, this man only has 14, 15 career wins to his name, and he was out there at periods, at times, slinging it with the MVP of the league. So give credit to Bryce Young. I think he played a hell of a game, like you said. Choker. My only takeaway I can honestly say is Rico Dowd was so successful throughout the year. Why they really, give him enough touches? He had 5 carries for 9 yards. I thought we would have saw a little more, just more involvement from Rico Dowd. Kind of shocked that they went away from him and gave most of the carries to Chuba Hubbard. While we saw majority of the season, Rico Dowd was RB1. He had over 1,000 yards on the season. So that was the only kind of surprising and head scratcher for Carolina. But shout out the Rams, like you said, Matthew Stafford, MVP type performance. The running game, not a dominance, but over 116 on the ground. That's pretty damn good. And not for nothing, Puka showed up, and Devontae Adams looked pretty damn good coming back from that hamstring injury. Even after that big hit he drew the penalty, he still had a good game. So shout out Devontae Adams, and shout out Sean McVay for a hell of a game plan.
Questionable penalty on that as well, I would say. It was kind of a bang-bang. It's hard for defenders, I'll say. But, yeah, Bryce Young, that dime to Jalen Coker to take the lead.
Clutch. Clutch.
It was a dime by Bryce. That was one of the best throws I think I've ever seen him throw, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I think they're going to pick up his 5th-year option, which is normal. I think they're going to pick it up and see if they extend him after that year.
Now, I think they're going to give him a deal. I'm not saying they're going to make him, give him $55-60 million a year. But if I'm the Carolina Panthers, I wouldn't mind, locking up Bryce Young long term, honestly. I think he proved a lot. He just went toe-to-toe with the MVP of the league.
Yeah. And you mentioned Rico Dwaddle. He did come out after the game during the locker room, and he was very surprised why he didn't get a lot of carries.
I was surprised.
He goes,
Trust me.
I'm going to use that during my free agency. I want to go to a team that values me. So, little shot, I guess, but...
No, I understand. He had 1,000 yards during the season, became the RB1. You give him 5 touches in a home playoff game? Maybe if you give him, 15 plus, you maybe have a different outcome.
But no one was really running the ball well.
I understand, Dill, but he had over 1,000 yards. You're only going to give him 5 touches?
Yeah, no.
That's like if you come in the playoffs, you just going to throw Jamar Chase 5 balls?
Yeah, you got to get.
What I'm saying? The ball, yeah. At the end, to me, I thought Carolina would have fed him. That's all.
Would you rather have Chuba Hubbard or Rico Dwaddle?
In 2025, Rico Dowdle. And this is coming from somebody who drafted Chuba Hubbard and was forced to bench him in fantasy. So I wasn't happy about Rico Dowdle, but I got to give it to him. He had a tremendous season.
Maybe just a general, because it was hurt. So maybe not this year, because Chuba Hubbard did have an injury.
No, he did. But Rico Dowdle, I think he had a top 5 back. I think he was a top 5 rusher, top 6.
Rico Dwaddle?
Yeah, I think he was a top 6 rusher.
No, he rushed for 1,000 yards. That's 14th in the league.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, I don't think he had that good of a season. And the reason he got all those carries and yards is because Chuba Hubbard got hurt.
Yeah, but we also saw him back-to-back games, single-handed. He carried the team with over 200 yards from scrimmage.
100%.
Back-to-back games.
I guess from a Carolina perspective, though, they paid Chuba Hubbard. They're not. No,
and he's the captain. I'm not disagreeing with it, but you can't deny who was your number 1 running back majority of the year. It was Rico Dowdle. Like I said, I'm not upset Chuba Hubbard got the touches, but it was, if I'm a Panthers fan, I'm kind of surprised why Rico Dowdle wasn't more involved in the offensive scheme.
I think overall, though, bigger picture, I don't think that's the reason they lost. They couldn't stop a nosebleed either.
They couldn't stop a nosebleed. And be honest, they had the opportunities. Dropped a couple of interceptions, couple penalties. Carolina was live to win this game. Multiple chances they had to win this game.
And J.C. Horn winded up getting hurt too.
Yeah, and let's not forget, if Puka Nacua doesn't break up that interception in the end zone, Panthers might have won the game.
Yeah,
but Puka Nacua became a DB with 2 minutes left.
Carolina finishes the season 9-0 ATS after a loss. I mean, they were just amazing off of a loss. They were covering the number. It didn't matter what it was. So, great game. Rams do advance. We'll see who they wind up playing next week. The second game you mentioned, it was a beauty, man.
Yeah.
If you're a Chicago fan, I'll say that. But
no, I'm gonna be honest. If you're any fan but a Green Bay Packer, because as a Patriots fan, that was a great game. Let's go.
Outright 23-19. They went for it on 4th down and
dog of the day.
Deflection. You got to give credit to Bobby Salah. Oh, he's hyped on the side. You got to give credit, and I'll say this: the Jets scapegoated him. He deserves to get some recognition for head coaching jobs.
I wouldn't be surprised if Robert Salah has a couple of interviews midweek. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
Every team he's a part of, the defense is a top 5. With all these injuries, me and Joe were talking about it. The linebackers that they had today who started, none of them were on the 53-man roster to start the season. None of them. So we got the NFC divisional round. The 49ers are going to Seattle to get a rematch, and the Rams are going to Chicago. And let's talk about the Chicago Bears, because the first half was the worst offense I've seen in years. And I'm sitting there, I'm sitting back. My girlfriend's like, "Oh, do you want to watch a movie? It's not really a game." I said, "Yeah, maybe." Shit, I got a Green Bay ticket. It might be. And then I'm like, hold up. This is when Green Bay comes. This is when Chicago comes alive. 25 points in the fourth quarter. And that rollout to the left that Caleb Williams made.
The 4th and 8 play. Yeah.
I don't like him as a player, but man,
That's crazy.
I stood up and I respected. I said, that's a hell of a throw. This was a game where they couldn't get another team. They couldn't get anything going running. DeAndre Swift couldn't do anything. Kyle Monangai couldn't really do anything. Shout out Colston Loveland. Again, first half of the season, it was all Tyler Warren. And then the second half of the season, it was all Colston Loveland. I mean, the connection he had, he went for over 130 yards. DJ Moore had a touchdown. Shout out you. First quarter, Romeo Dobbs. He catched that quick. He went for over 100 as well. And I thought Jordan Love played well, but the second half, I don't know what it was. 3 straight punts. They got the touchdown to, I think, go up 9. That I don't want to say fireable offense because I really like Matt LaFleur, but you said it in the group chat. That just can't happen.
Yeah, if you want to blame, Brandon Munkus, the kicker, by all means, you can make a case he cost you the game, but I think most of the blame got to go on Matt LaFleur. Jordan Love, I understand second half didn't play as well in the first half, but he played well enough to win this game. No interceptions, 4 touchdowns, 323 passing. The running game wasn't really there. Romeo Dobbs, 124 with a tutty. Matthew Golden had his best game of his career as a pro, 84 yards with a tutty. Jalen Reed with a tutty. Christian Watson, wish he would have caught a couple more balls, but he also had a tutty as well. And then defensively in the first half, he was able to get constant pressure. He was able to force a couple turnovers with Caleb Williams in that offense. And then the second half, to be honest, I think Matt LaFleur became, in my opinion, too conservative with the play calling to open up the second half. I felt like he was he just had to protect the lead. To me, the aggressiveness in the first half worked. You scored 24 to 3. And to be honest, the first 2 drives were executed to perfection, damn near. So to me, that's what really ruined the day for the Packers was, I think, Matt LaFleur becoming conservative with the lead. So I felt like if he would have been as aggressive in the first half, coming out in the second half, I'm pretty sure the Packers would have blew the Bears out. I was expecting the Packers to put up 40 plus after we saw Jordan Love have damn near 200 yards and 3 passing touchdowns in the first half. That's what I was expecting. I was just surprised that, and I agree with you, Dill. Something has to be done because Matt LaFleur, you blew a 21-3 lead, right? And then you blew a 11-point lead with over 3 minutes left. Your defense scored 25 up 25 points in the fourth quarter. Give credit to Caleb Williams. Give credit to Ben Johnson, Dill. And like you said, that 4th and 8 throw might have been the throw of the year. So shout out Caleb Williams. I think he proved a lot of doubters wrong. A lot of people, saying he probably might not be the number 1 pick, not living up to expectations, stuff like that. I think Caleb Williams proved a lot of people wrong. And I think Chicago is going to be reckoned with for years to come with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. I was watching the game sitting there like, why are they sitting back? Step on their throat. You're up 21-6, 21-3 at that point. You need to go in there. Yes, you had the missed field goal, but go in there and be aggressive. That's what got you the lead early on in the game. Be aggressive. That's what ultimately killed them. Well, LaFleur is not the best coach in the playoffs either. As good of a coach and play caller that he is, he kind of is very conservative in second half of playoff games when they have a lead. I didn't think it was on Jordan Love. I thought he played well. I love the rivalry between Ben Johnson and Matt LaFleur, the little quick handshake.
Yeah. And LaFleur just did it to him 2 weeks ago. So I don't know.
They don't. It's clear they don't like each other, and I think that's better for football.
I think it's better for the division. Yes,
I
think they makes it a must-watch game now moving forward. Shout out Phil in the chat as well. He's ready for the pass game in about 30-40 minutes. Shout out Phil.
Shout out Phil, but they are my lock of the week, by the way.
Who?
So, the Patriots. You
my lock cash. You asked me. You're double dipping. I said I'm loving the 49ers. I said lock the points, and they're the dog of the week.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Well, real quick.
I'm skipping the game. I'm sorry. I got excited. I'm excited.
No, you're good. Fuck, man. It was a beautiful day yesterday because I had so much that was going well. I went 8-1 in college basketball.
Woo!
And then NFL, I hit the plus 10.5. I hit Bryce Young anytime interception, Terrion McMillan over. And then I was just like, I got one more bet, babe. Like, we could go to dinner tomorrow. We could go to dinner tomorrow. She's like, oh, what do you need? Green Bay money line.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I said the reason you're eating ramen tonight is because of the Green Bay Packers. So that's on you. It was a bad look, I thought. And did you see Lil Wayne's tweet?
I'm gonna be honest. I saw it from
that's kind of strong.
Yeah, but he's a diehard Packers fan. And, if it was coming from like a random person, I'll be like, yeah, I'll brush it off. But like, Lil Wayne is he's a true Packers fan. So that's real life emotion. That's like, I'm not going to compare him to Gilly with the Eagles, but I guarantee whatever Gilly says right now about the Eagles' loss is from the heart, and it might be true. So I'm not mad at Lil Wayne bashing his team over, let's just say, an embarrassing loss. He should have won the game. He blew a double-digit lead with 3 minutes left in the game. Let's just be frank here.
Quote, we just lost the playoff game to I'll say guy with purple nails. We fucking suck. Bears ass. We don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Straight like that. Love Caleb responding with the emoji with like a freezing guy with a snowflake. Hashtag the Bears. I mean, you had to clap back after he threw a jab at you. So, yeah, I thought that was fucking hilarious if I'm being honest. But hey, I'll give credit where it's due. Caleb Williams is having a great year. And Ben Johnson, yeah, he's a hell of a coach. Let's go to Sunday. Jaguars 24, Buffalo 27. It's pretty simple. One team had Josh Allen and one team didn't. It's that simple. And as much as we were praising Trevor Lawrence, the old Trevor Lawrence came out today. 2 turnovers. I don't understand why they didn't run the ball more. Run the ball. They cannot stop you. Even Tootin was running the ball well. He was averaging 12 yards a pop. Give him the ball. Give Travis Etienne the ball. What were they doing? I like Liam Cohen, but man, this was not a game to be trying to come out with all your tricks. And early on when they got the fumble recovery on the kickoff, I was thinking of you. I was like, take the points. I know you want to get a touchdown right there in the goal line, but then that turned it into a touchdown for the Buffalo Bills. And I don't know. It was a great prop game. We get there with Trevor Lawrence, longest rush over. We get there with Josh Hines Allen, anytime sack. We get there with James Cook under 75.5 rushing yards. So we went 3-0 on the prop. Just Jacksonville money line did not get home. And shout out Josh Allen, man. He had himself a hell of a game. He is so good in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Josh Allen, reasserted why he's, like I always say, any given Sunday, he's the best player in football. Yes, I apologize that the neighbor dog just got excited. He started going crazy. But like I said, and I hate saying it, as you can see. I hate saying this, but it's a fact. I'll be delusional. I can't be taken serious. I can't admit that Josh Allen, any given Sunday, is the best quarterback in football. We saw the man dealing with multiple injuries. You saw him take that hit when he scored the first rushing touchdown at the goal line. We saw him hit his hand on the helmet. He was dealing with that. We saw him go to the tent in the first quarter, and the man just keeps battling. When James Cook has a slow day, he answers the call. He put up 33 rushing yards on himself. Shakir had himself a day deal. 12 receptions, 82 yards. Honestly, he didn't find the end zone. Shout out Dalton Kincaid, got the game-winning touchdown. Brandon
Cooks had
Dill, you laughed about this, and I said, Dill, it's something. It's help. You said, yeah, but is he really going to move the needle? Is he going to be impactful? Clearly, he is.
Yeah, that one. Clearly
he is. So, it wasn't, to me, it wasn't, a blockbuster acquisition, but clearly Brandon Cooks has been a godsend for this Buffalo Bills offense. Let's just be honest. Hopefully Gabe Davis is not dealing with a major injury. That hit to his lower leg didn't look good, to be honest, but when Buffalo needed Josh Allen the most, he answered the call. So shout out Josh Allen, hell of a day. And not for nothing, Trevor Lawrence, I think it's a tough loss. I'm not gonna blame you.
He's the majority reason why they lost.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna blame him. I'm not gonna blame him. Yes, he missed a couple of the throws. He had the 2 interceptions. That first one was but we saw Trevor Lawrence make some plays. We saw him make some good runs with his legs. He had 30 rushing yards as well, and he dropped some balls on under the right in the breadbasket deal. So I'm not gonna fault Trevor Lawrence. He was honestly one of the main reasons they lost, but I'm not gonna put the blame on him. Shout out Liam Coleman, hell of a season. If you're a Duval fan, if you're a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, I think you can head your hand up high that you just lost to the better team, the Buffalo Bills. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Buffalo is a good team. They've been there and done that. Sean McDermott, I think this is it's like 8th or 10th career playoff game. Josh Allen, I understand he hasn't got the Super Bowl success, but he's done everything else. Everything else you could accomplish in this league, he's damn near done it. So give credit to Buffalo Bills moving on. And I think they'll be going to Denver next week. Yeah. No. If we win, we see them. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. And I don't know if you want to play them. That's the thing either. So you were kind of rooting for Jacksonville. But yeah, the one thing I guess I would push back on, I don't think that Buffalo is better than them. I think Josh Allen is way better than everybody on Jacksonville. That's the issue. One team had Josh Allen and one team didn't. Trevor Lawrence went back to his old ways, and that he's the reason they lost the game. It's plain and simple. He turned the ball over, and all the points led to points for Buffalo. And it was very surprising seeing Cam Little miss that field goal to end the half too.
Yeah. All the drama
for that.
All sides, everything, reviewing it just to go wide left.
And I thought Jacksonville caught a break. If I'm being honest, I don't know if he got it off on time, but hey.
Yeah. To me, the clock hit 0, but I think
it's when the
flag
center move. No, it's when the center moves his wrist apparently, because the guy was already off. He was already in the outfield, in the backfield. So, yeah, I don't know. It was debatable, but regardless, Buffalo does advance. And then the afternoon game, we got who just went final: 49ers 23, Eagles 19. Again, tale of two halves. I mean, Philadelphia cannot score in the second half. It's been this reason all year why the offense has struggled. And Brock Purdy gave you every reason to think they were going to lose the game. I mean, he didn't play that good, but when it came time to step up, he threw 2 touchdowns. That drive, shout out Juwan Jennings, another dime to Christian McCaffrey. That was a really good play. Demarcus Robinson had himself a hell of a game. 6 catches for over 100 yards, a touchdown. CMC had 2 in the air as well. Saquon actually ran the ball pretty well, I thought. But when they were down, they just couldn't get anything substantially going. You had the missed extra point by Elliott as well. That he had one of his worst years as well for the Philadelphia Eagles. And as good of a defense as it was, and Vic Fangio, 49ers found a way to continue to score points on the road. I thought it was a really good sign for Kyle Shanahan in the offense.
Yeah, Dill. Don't get me wrong. Not surprised that they won. Knew they were going to cover. Never a doubt about that. But coming out of a victory in the link, I told Dylan before the game, a couple of days ago, I told him this is Brock Purdy's revenge spot. Last time he was in the link, he ended up injuring his elbow. Couldn't finish the game. Eagles end up winning the game, going to the Super Bowl. And I just expected this offense to show up. It sucks that George Kittle went out in the first half with an injury. They're saying that it's a torn Achilles.
Yeah, Diana Rossini confirmed it's a torn Achilles.
Oh, that sucks, man. Shout out George Kittle,
Legend.
one of the best tight ends in all of football.
I do think it was a little real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt. I do think they robbed Trey McBride for All Pro and giving it to George Kittle instead of Trey McBride.
Trey McBride was definitely the better tight end this year.
This year,
there's no doubt about it. But you can make the case overall from the tight end position. George Kittle's the better blocker, better this, better that. I understand why people make that case, but there's no doubt McBride was the best tight end in football this year. No disagreement there. It just sucks that Kittle's out for the remainder of the playoffs because we know how big of a weapon he is for the 49ers. But I think this is not surprising by the Eagles, though. Their offense has been, I'm not going to say been their Achilles heel all season long. And sorry about George Kittle, but, what part of that offense are we going to get?
Bad timing.
Yeah, horrible timing. But, Jalen Hurts, 168 passing. I understand he ain't throwing an interception, but he got sacked once. It's okay. But you expect a little more than 168 passing. You expect a little more than 25 yards, 3 receptions from A.J. Brown. One of those 2 deep balls in the first quarter, he should have caught one. I'm not saying he should have caught both, but when him and Nick Sirianni got on the sideline, to me, A.J. Brown in a playoff game at home, you got to catch one of them. Yeah. So not surprised that the offense stuttered. They've been stuttering all season long. That's why we wasn't heavy on the Eagles. It was why the Eagles was outside of my top 10 in power rankings for multiple weeks coming down to the end of the season. Is what we're going to see from that offense. They haven't been consistent all season long. Like you said, good game for Saquon Barkley on 26 touches, though. Shout out to 49ers. Like you said, shout out Robert Saleh in that defense. Short man, ton of injuries. Held the defending champs to 19 at home. To me, that's pretty damn great. And shout out Kyle Shanahan. We saw them struggle last week, only putting up 6 points in Seattle. You show up in Philadelphia where you needed. Huge road victory for the 49ers. And hopefully the trend those follow. Bills won on the road. 49ers won on the road. As a Patriots fan, a little nervous now.
Phil, if you're still here, write in the comments what you think final score is going to be tonight. I think blowout, 27.
Yeah. First 2 games, road team won. Hammer the Patriots tonight.
Question. Now, I didn't think anything of it because we've seen the intensity and we've played sports, obviously not at this high level, but they're all just competitive guys, them going at it. And I didn't really think anything of it, but it's been like a theme and you've heard reports that he wasn't happy. What do you think? Do we see AJ Brown here?
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone, right?
The New England Patriots will acquire AJ Brown for like a 3rd round pick.
Wow.
If it ain't us, it'll be like, I'll be honest though, you rather the Kansas City Chiefs get him or us?
Chiefs.
Screw you.
You're in my division. I can't have you. Already have Drake May. You hit the jackpot on. I don't want more success for the Patriots.
What do you want? Another 1st round pick for these next couple years? Like a top 5 pick?
No, I'm tired of rooting for Tankathon. I want to be in the playoffs.
I understand. But like I was saying, realistically, I feel like AJ Brown is gone. If you're a loyal listener, I said preseason last year, hot take for the Eagles would be AJ Brown's traded at the trade deadline. I was wrong. And I'm gonna go out on the limb and say AJ Brown will be traded this offseason. I'm gonna say pre-draft. I'm gonna say April. I'm gonna say before the draft, AJ Brown is traded. I'm gonna say he goes for a 3rd round pick, maybe a 2nd.
That's when he was traded last time to Tennessee to Philadelphia.
And Philadelphia robbed him.
They did. They did rob. They did rob them. So yeah, the NFC picture is all set. We'll see what happens with the AFC moving forward, but I can't wait for the divisional round. Let's see. Can this offense for San Francisco do anything better than they did last 2 weeks? I don't know. This Seattle defense is even better than Philly's, so we'll see. They weren't able to do anything 2 weeks ago, so we'll see what they're
with
able
George
to do.
Kittle.
Exactly. So
Yeah, and shout out Demarcus Robinson, a hell of a game.
yeah, 100%. By the way, kid, the national championship is in a few days. It's in 7.5. They're laying Indiana. It doesn't matter what they were going to lay. I'm taking that, and I might take an alternate spread because this Indiana team is just boat racing everybody.
Oh, okay. When you said take, I thought you meant take the points.
Oh, no, absolutely
We're laying.
not. We're laying the points.
Okay, we're laying.
They're the best team, and like this
they're
might
the
be
best team. Sorry to cut you. They're the best team I've seen since Joe Burrow and LSU.
Yeah, and it was the 2019 LSU Tigers, and then before that was like the 2012 Alabama team. That
AJ McCarron.
Oh, that team was ridiculous.
Trent Richardson, I think, or Derrick Henry.
They blew out Notre
Trent.
Dame, I think, in the national. Those two teams, and now Indiana. If they do it, they'll go 16-0. They'll have the perfect season. They'll go undefeated in the regular season. They'll win the Big Ten championship and the national championship. This has to be a top 5 team of all time. Obviously, the early 2000 Miami team, that was legendary. But, dude, Fernando Mendoza is going to be the number 1 pick. Elijah Sarrett, he's really good. He's going to be a late first round, early second round. But with how many 4 and 5 stars Oregon has, and you to do that was a terrible first pick. First play was a pick 6. I mean,
bad read too.
Yeah, I mean, he was all over them, and
like you could tell that was a scripted read. Like he was like, first play of the game, you're going here. He didn't have no other option. He didn't have no other option.
And I think the biggest thing here was, Indiana has a bunch of 4 or 5 year starters. So I think that's the biggest thing as to why they're so successful here, because, a lot of these big time schools, they got one and dones or 2-year, 3-year guys. But, what Kirk Cignetti has done for Indiana, and they were one of the worst teams in the league, in the whole country 2 years ago. They won 2 games. Kirk Cignetti comes in there, and without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most impressive things I've seen in just sports history. Baseball, basketball, football, hockey. Like I said, they were one of the worst programs in history, and now they're one of the best. And they're immediate title contenders, and it's amazing. He's a great job for the he's representing for the American Italians too, Kirk Cignetti as well. So, and I love the post game. They go, how do you feel? He goes, how do I feel? He goes, I want a beer.
Yeah, I want to have a beer. I'm not even worried about the next game. Let's celebrate tonight.
Yeah,
I love that.
What do you think of Indiana?
I'm gonna be honest though. Like I said, to me, they've been the most impressive team. Especially offensively since what we saw in LSU a couple years ago when Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase were out there balling out. We're seeing the same thing. What Mendoza's been doing, honestly, what he did to a very good Oregon team was just so impressive. What do you have? 4 or 5 passing touchdowns in the first half? Though he looked unstoppable. It wasn't even like they made Oregon look like Tulane out there. No disrespect to Tulane, but that's what it looked like. It looked like a first round game. Yeah. And we know how good the Ducks are. We know how good of a coach Dan Lanning is. Yeah. That was surprising how dominating Indiana looks. Yeah. That's what made me compare them to that LSU team, because we haven't seen a team this good dominate another team that good in a long time. It's one thing to win a game, against Georgia, Alabama, or something like that, but Indiana, we just saw them blow out Alabama. Now they're just blowing out Oregon. They might blow out Miami.
Hypothetically, if they were to verse the 2019 LSU team, what do you think the line would be? Because DK and a couple
Over under 64.5, maybe
no, the
67.
spread.
I'm gonna say
Because yeah.
respectfully, I'm gonna say LSU -4.
So a couple of the sports book did this because it was kind of fun to see what everyone else did. The majority of the books said -7 LSU. A couple of them said 7.5. I would have priced it 5.5 LSU, but LSU should be favored. That offense
No, yeah,
is
absolutely.
crazy.
That just look at the talent. Like looking back at that team right now,
It's OD.
I think they have over 10 players in the NFL, or I think at least 7 actively.
They did Coach O dirty too after that.
Yeah.
My thing though, Fernando Mendoza, he's going to kill the interview process. Like all the interviews with all the coaches and teams, he's going to kill that. Throwing the ball, because I think a guy like Dante Moore for the Oregon Ducks, he might do something in the combine or in the draft process that might wow a team. Point blank Zach Wilson a few years ago, where they're like, wow, look at this cannon of an arm. Do you think there are players like Dante Moore, other players that are going to be like, jump Fernando Mendoza? Because I don't. I think if you're smart, you should take Fernando Mendoza.
Don't get me wrong. Can somebody, wow the front office of the Raiders? Yes. Can they be wowed? Absolutely. Do I think somebody in that front office is going to go outside of Mendoza? Absolutely not. I think somebody's going to have to overrule anybody's considering that. You have to take Mendoza with the first overall pick. And if you don't, you got to at least trade it away for 3 future firsts.
Yeah. And I think he can handle like the bad ownership and organization of Las Vegas too. So yeah, I think he'll be one. We'll have more draft process down the line, but yeah, we're gonna get the national championship in a few days. So we'll have picks there. By the way, kid, real quick before we get into the game, I wanted to bring this up because I was very surprised hearing this. Alex Bregman, all-star, leaves the Boston Red Sox to sign a 5-year, $175 million contract with the Chicago Cubs on Saturday night. Now, the Cubs tried to go after him when the Red Sox traded for him. If you're a Red Sox fan, you are upset because, one, you traded Rafael Devers for this guy thinking you were going to re-sign him. You let Rafael Devers walk. And you know how I feel about Rafael Devers. I think the guy is generationally talented. And then when it came out, the Red Sox offered him 5 years, $165 million. You left for $10 more million. That's I don't know if it's a bad look on Bregman. I don't know if it's you're cheap, Boston, because Boston has the money. Let's not get it twisted. That ownership got bread. I don't know, man. If I'm Boston, I would hate that because that was one of your core pieces. You traded him, you traded for him, and then you let Rafael Devers walk because you thought Alex Bregman was going to stay. Oh man, I felt for you because I would love Alex Bregman, but for him to leave and only get offered $10 more million to go to Chicago, that kind of stings, man. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, to me, it's a tough blow. As a Red Sox fan, like you said, get it, the whole trade scenario with Rafael and everything, to me is why give up a all-star caliber player in Rafael and then bring somebody in and then don't finalize a deal for them. It don't matter what the money amount is. So you basically, long story short, though, we gave up Rafael for nothing.
That's exactly it.
That's what, as a Red Sox fan, pisses me off because we could have either paid Rafael the money he wanted, because that was what it's about. He wanted a huge payday. Not mad at him against that. So you didn't want to pay Rafael what he wanted, right? You wanted him to play first. You wanted him to pay DH. The whole situation, yada, yada, right? Now you got Alex Bregman in, and don't get me wrong, maybe in the tail end of his career, but you traded away a young all-star for him. Now you're not willing to sign him. That's the issue, Dill. So as a Red Sox fan, that I'm pissed off. But am I gonna cry about it? No. But we definitely have to make some moves. this upcoming week to offset it.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I
maybe not a star name like Alex Bregman, but we better make some moves this week.
The Cubs, they went after him a couple years ago, and he wound up staying in Boston. He signed that deal, and then he obviously had that opt-out after this year. It's clear that the Cubs are being aggressive and that they really are high on Alex Bregman. So we'll see. We'll see, because the Brewers were the champions of the NL Central last season. So Bregman's going to help that. He has 9 years of postseason experience as well. So having 102 playoff games across 21 seasons under his belt is, it helps Chicago. So they're aggressive, man. And shout out them. Mets still not doing shit. So, all right, okay, let's get to this game. But before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor, brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market. Hands down. Is no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks. So just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around the golf with the boys or an elderberry watching the Patriots and Chargers. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. I believe you're at the Jane Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Monday Night Football. I'm always going to say Heinz Field, where you got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Houston Texans. Texans laying 3 here on the road, -162 on the money line, +136 for the Steelers. Total is 38.5. I'll let you lead it off, kid. What do you like?
First of all, Dill, this is going to be a good game if you ask me. I understand it might be hard to live up to expectation after this weekend, but I think it might. CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans been arguably one of the hottest teams in the NFL to end the season. And we just saw Aaron Rodgers turn back the clock last week against the Baltimore Ravens at home. To me, it's going to be an absolute banger, in my opinion. DK Metcalf, I expect a huge game from him after his 2-game suspension. CJ Stroud in that offense worries me just a little bit. It was nice to see Nico Collins take the week off last week, so I expect him to be impactful. Willie Marks in the running game. But can CJ Stroud outplay Aaron Rodgers? I think that's going to come down to which quarterback is going to play better, which quarterback is going to outplay the other. And I have a feeling they'll give me the +3 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they're live on the money line. We saw TJ Watt come back from the injury last week. He wasn't that impactful, but we felt him in the game. Now with an extra week under his belt, I think he's going to have a major game against this Houston Texans team. Don't get me wrong, that defense has been lights out, and I think they'll be honestly able to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers. But what Aaron Rodgers is known to do, get rid of the ball quick. If he's able to get that ball out in less than 1.5 seconds, I think they can hurt the Houston Texans with the short passes. What we saw last week, it was nothing really deep or threatening by the Steelers offense besides the game-winning throw to Calvin Austin. Everything was around the line of scrimmage, and it was mostly yak yards. I think Aaron Rodgers threw for 270 and over 180 were yak yards. So I expect the Pittsburgh Steelers to be a little conservative, take their shots with Calvin and DK. But I expect them to beat them, dink and ducking, and take their shots when needed. Defensive game. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers +3. I also think they're live.
Yeah, I'm on the Steelers as well, +3, +3.5 as well.
Wow, I'm shocked. I'm surprised by that. Yeah.
Honestly, I was thinking about taking Houston, but a dome team going outside in a tough place to play. The Terrible Towers are going to be out tomorrow, and they haven't lost at home on Monday night since 1992, and I just can't go against that. And Coach Mike Tomlin,
the house is going to be going crazy tomorrow. You know how Chicago was a zoo? Shout out the fans. I forgot to say that. Shout out the fans in Chicago, by the way. The house was rocking. You heard it on the TV. You heard it on your phone. However you watched it, that place was a zoo.
And As an single-digit underdog, Mike Tomlin, 35-28 straight up, 41-19 ATS as a dog. And, the Steelers, I think, pains me to say this, I just think they have the better quarterback right now with Aaron Rodgers. I think he's playing better than CJ Stroud. The last few weeks, Aaron Rodgers has been on one.
Mm-hmm.
He's been dialing it up. He's a Super Bowl champ. He has the experience in the playoffs, and I just think the defense too for Pittsburgh. Yes, they might not be better, but the magic point total for road teams is 20. If Pittsburgh could keep this offense under 20 points, I think they win outright. Teams coming up shy of that in the wild card rounds, up at 20 points, have lost 15 straight games outright and are 6-50 straight up, 7-49 ATS since 2002. That's just 12%. So the numbers are on our side. I think they have the better quarterback. I think they have the better coach. I just think, and I think they ended the season really well, Pittsburgh. I'm on Pittsburgh, man. Give me them +3. I think they're live as well. For our prop segment is brought to you by Props.Cash, the best way to research your player props. Elvis and I have been using Props.Cash for 2 years now, and it's helped us find an edge in several player prop markets on the web or in the Props.Cash app. You get quick visual data on player trends, matchup history, and recent performance across every major sport. Clean, reliable stats that make it easier to spot value. Plans start at just $19.99 a month, and right now you can get 25% off your first month with code DREAM25. That's DREAM25. So download the app, not now, but right now, sign up with the monthly subscription. Use code DREAM25, and you'll be paying just $14.99 your first month. Level up your prop research today at Props.Cash. By the way, kid, what was your prop of the week for Sunday or for Wild Card Weekend? Did you cash that?
Yeah, it was Romeo Dobbs over 2.5 receiving yards first quarter, -110. I smashed out. Shout out Ed. He told me he cashed that as well. And then for tomorrow, Dill, like I said, I alluded to him earlier. First game back since the suspension. I expect a huge game. Give me DK Metcalf over 53.5 receiving yards on -115. I'm gonna be honest, I expect at least 80 plus, maybe a tutty from DK Metcalf. I expect Aaron Rodgers to look his way early and often. The man had 2 weeks off. I think he cost his team let's just say a week off last week, because I think if he would have been there against the Browns, maybe they win that game. Maybe they scored more than 6 points against the Cleveland Browns. So give me DK Metcalf over 53.5 receiving yards, -115.
I'm going with the apostrophe, Kyron Fairbairn, over 7.5
Yes.
kicking points. I mean, this guy is automatic. The Houston Texans are immune to scoring touchdowns. They'll drive the ball and get downfield, and then they will settle for 3. I think 2 to 3 field goals is lovely. Even if they score a touchdown, we're going to get over that. He's averaging 11.8 points per game. He's hit this number in 9 straight games. We need, 3 field goals and we get over this. So, yeah, over 7.5 kicking points. You get that at -122. I think that's good odds. I mean, he is one of the best kickers in the league. So, yeah, give me Fairbairn over 7.5 kicking points. Kid, I will let you run. Go watch your team. Enjoy. Good luck. Good luck on Monday as well. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.